Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Perlberg and Terry Campion.
Welcome to another edition of the Off the Lip radio show right here from Santa Cruz, California, right down the street from Pleasure Point. We have a great show, a very diverse show for you this evening with the Surfing Senator. Did we title him that? We're going to find out how much the Surfing Senator's been surfing lately. The Right Honorable Mr. Bruce McPherson is in studio with us tonight, along with a gentleman who contacted me today and told me he was in Santa Cruz, and I thought, well, I got to get his backside in here too. His name is Pete Madden, after John Madden. He is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
He told me he's related to John Madden.
Really?
Yeah,
but not the
coach.
same. Not the same one.
Okay.
But I guess there's a couple of them.
Anybody who's surfing in the Great Lakes, or any of the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, first of all, they're out of their mind.
That's true.
Secondly, I got to get him on the show. Thirdly, anybody who's driving around in an 18-wheeler around the country listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show podcast deserves to be on the show.
Our podcasts are hot.
I don't go listen to them. I'm afraid to.
A lot of people listen to the podcast. You'd be surprised.
Well, Bruce McPherson who's here tonight, did scare Dr. Hetzler, who was the only guy who's ever worn a tie on our show. And he came out with a jacket looking very sharp, but no tie. So, Dr. Hetzler, you're fine. Okay, you still own that trophy of the only guy who's been on this radio program with a tie.
Amazing. He looked sharp, though, when he came in, didn't he, Hetzler?
Oh, jeez.
Rockstar doctor.
Huh?
Rockstar Italian
doctor.
suit or something he was wearing?
So we thought we'd talk a little local issues here. Maybe we'll have Mr. McPherson be a color analyst, like the ESPN color analyst, to talk about the presidential race. Just a little colorful overview of what he thinks.
Well, if anyone knows what's going on around here, he does.
What the hell is going on?
Because we don't.
Okay, if any of Pete's friends are calling right now, call back a little bit, because I need to talk to the guests here first. So if this is Burton from Hathaway, right?
You
okay,
got it.
Burton, do me a favor, Burton. Call back a little bit, like 20 minutes. And is it Wally?
Will Wall.
Okay, Will Wall. I saw you on Facebook today. Will, call back in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Give us a chance to start the show.
Melt some of that ice off the beard and then call back.
Get rid of the ice. Keep your hands on the radiator.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. So call back in a little bit. Bruce, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah, I
you
think
start
so.
You start off the day with the Rotary Club, Sunrise Rotary. And there's some very, very well-known, exclusive people up there. The who's who, the who's who of Santa Cruz is Sunrise. And you end the day with us.
It's a big power meeting up there.
There you go.
It's a large power meeting. They feed them, and did you have to speak?
Yes, I did.
What'd you speak about?
I just spoke about an overall view of the county and what we're doing and the comparisons about having served the state level and the county level. That was the basis of what I was talking about.
Do you want to give us the same speech?
Well, no, I'll hit on a couple points.
No, just a couple.
Sure.
Only a couple points.
Well, let's back up real quick,
Sure.
though, because for some people listening, they might not know what the Rotary Club is.
Oh, yeah, it's an international organization started way back in 1906 in Illinois, and it's the motto is service above self, and it's a group of men and women who get together to have a collegiality, to have a meeting place, to talk about things, and get people of all stripes, teachers, firefighters, business people, educators, whatever, in the same room to discuss their issues so they understand more of what's going on in their community. A tremendous organization, locally and nationally, and what they do for so many people. They're going to wipe polio off the face of this earth, and they're just about ready to do it. And I say they, I am one of them. I've been a Rotarian since 1976. I was president of the Santa Cruz Club that meets at noon on Friday. This one is Tuesday mornings, the Sunrise Club. But I just have the utmost respect and admiration for the Rotary Club and so many other service clubs, too, that do so many things for so many people. But it's really well known locally and internationally for what it does.
Are you fourth generation Santa Cruz?
Correct.
Right? Started the Santa Cruz Sentinel, your family did?
A gentleman by the name of McElroy had it for 2 years,
Okay.
and then my great-grandfather Duncan bought half interest in it in 1864 for the grand sum of $900.
Wow.
And then we had it for 4 generations.
Wow. You can probably
$900
buy. You might be able to buy it right now for $900. Sorry.
Or a surfboard. you know?
And then, did your family, the McPherson family, have a hand in KSCO?
Yes, it did. Yes, my uncle, my father and uncle had a share of with the Berlin family.
Yeah.
And they owned it together as well. And boy, I have to think about it. That was in the 40s, I believe it was. I'd have to go back and remember that exact year. But yeah, they were very active in KSCO, but most active in the newspaper. My father was the publisher, as
Right.
was my grandfather and great-grandfather as
And
well.
you were the editor.
I
You
was
went from the reporter to the editor, correct?
Yes.
You swept the floors too down
Did
there?
you do the paper? Were you ever a paper boy?
Oh yeah.
You
I
were
was
for a
paper
paper
yeah,
boy.
I worked in every department in the. My dad was one of those. Hey, if you're
Okay.
going to like this stuff, you're going to have to do it. And as a matter of fact, he didn't suggest, hey, this is what you should do. Come
Right.
on, it's in the. He said, you maybe should try something else. I mean, but I really liked it. It's similar to the political situation that it's different every day and it's exciting and you're in the community of what's going on around you.
Right.
You know, from your neighbors and.
I love the Sentinel. I love reading the. I
used
wish they had
I
more
love-
police stuff
I
in
love
there.
writing for him. I had a great time writing for him. Wrote 125 articles for the Sentinel. It was a lot of fun. Had a good
It's getting
time.
a little smaller though these days.
Well,
Yeah.
the newspaper business has changed dramatically.
Right.
I think the Santa Cruz Sentinel does a fantastic job
Yeah.
for the resources it has and the staff it has. I know people say to me, "Oh boy, it used to be different when you were there," and that's true. But the situation is so much different. I mean, the internet, and,
Right.
Right.
high speed,
Well,
all this stuff.
Or the revenue from lost classifieds. Remember, the newspaper was the classified.
right,
That's where you
yeah.
went and shopped
Right.
for stuff
Like
and sold
Craigslist.
cars. And
It was
yeah,
the Craigslist at the
and they've
time.
lost it. Their classifieds
Right.
like one column now.
Very important question. Since this is the surfing show, when was the last time you surfed?
Dun 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 dun.
It's been a while. It's been probably 3 months ago. So I'm not a surfer dude
You haven't
like my
surfed in
partner
3
here.
months. TC.
He's got me.
You're the co-host. He's got you beat.
I haven't even waxed my new board up
And I
yet.
wouldn't, if I wanted to, I wouldn't have had the guts to go out about a week ago. My gosh, did you see how?
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'd go and watch now.
Yeah.
Like this surfer dude over here next to me that surfs out in a lake and gets his
Yeah.
beard frozen and
Yeah.
can't shave it off. It hurts so much or whatever.
Anybody who cries out here that it's cold
I know.
needs to talk to Pete.
Yeah.
The political arena. You obviously did it in as a state in the state arena.
Correct.
Have you enjoyed coming back to the local arena?
Yes, and
A little less hectic, and you go home at night, or
well, no, it's not necessarily less hectic, and I tell
Really?
you, it's not less time spent either.
Really?
But it's the right time and right place. And that's part of the thing. People ask me all the time, as they did this morning, which did you like better? I love this form of public service, not knowing that when I retired from the first time after 26 years with the Sentinel, that I would get into the political realm of things, and did. But I've been very fortunate to have been able to serve in both bodies. This is the right place, right time for me now. There's a lot of issues that are critical, and let me just say that
Sure.
the timing of it all. We are going through the biggest transition of governance in the state of California since Prop 13 was passed in 1978, when everything shifted to the state. And now with realignment that went in effect about 3 or 4 years ago with the correctional system, and we taking more responsibilities
Yep.
for felons, low-level felons, shall we say. I guess maybe somebody would say anybody that's a felon is low level, but that said, just not your really hardcore felons. And we're responsible for them. The Affordable Care Act, the implementation of that, just like just about everything else. We at the county level are ones who are implementing the policies that are passed down to us from the federal and state level, and it's become more heightened in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's a great time to be at this level of government, and I'm enjoying it very much.
And you feel that you're able to make changes.
Yes.
Or are your feet in cement and you can't do anything?
No. I
So you
feel
can
we
make changes.
can, and we are making some changes. We've been able to to really get our feet on the ground of what is needed. We have a terrible or a critical affordable housing crisis here, and everybody says they're for affordable housing, and then they say they don't want it in their backyard and da 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 da.
Right.
Well, listen, there's an attitude here that You know, we love first of all, our natural resources and our surroundings here, and nobody appreciates them more than I do. My great-grandfather Duncan, as a matter of fact, was one of the guys that really helped lead the effort to have Big Basin become the oldest state park in the system in 1902. But you know, there was that area where don't build it and they won't come. Well, they didn't come in droves like they might have, and I think we can appreciate that. But at the same time, we really didn't provide the infrastructure needs that we need for water, sewage, transportation.
Right.
And we're trying to see how do we catch up with that, and it's really not easy to do.
Well, that was a big story last time you're probably relieved by this rain, right?
Yes.
Because I know the San Lorenzo Valley felt in the water problems.
Yeah. And, you know, I wanted, that's one of the things I've really concentrated. I feel best about it, as I did in the state level too, is getting different parties. And I was known as a very moderate politician.
Right.
And get the parties together to see how they can resolve some issues. And we're on our way to doing that with the tiny Lompico Water District of maximum 500 connections. I think it has 495 or in that neighborhood. They're in dire straits,
Right.
and a small district like that just can't afford to have the staff that it needs, the update of the system that it wants. And so I just, as with others, but I was at the core of it to say, San Lorenzo Valley Water District, would you consider annexing the Wampico district as long as they provided for the upgrades in their water system? And to their San Lorenzo Valley's water district's credit, they said, yes, we'll do that. As good
cool.
neighbors.
Very
and
good.
And this story is, if you think every vote doesn't count, last February we had a vote for that to take place, for them to merge, needed 2/3, it lost by 1 vote.
Really?
And so now we're trying a different attack on it that people, I think, in Lompico will accept.
Okay.
And we should know that by, say, April sometime at least,
Very
and
cool.
maybe March. So
You're listening to the Off the Net Radio Show right here on KSCO. We're on Facebook, we're Instagram, tweeting.
Everywhere.
And
Everywhere.
We're live streaming right now on SantaCruzWaves.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by Ventana Surfboards for the latest eco-friendly surf supplies and apparel, hollow reclaimed wooden surfboards, body surfing hand planes. Lately, they've been using incredible woods from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, the Santa Cruz Guitar Company, and even Nobel Prize-winning author John Steinbeck's house in Pacific Grove. Check out VentanaSurfboards.com. Craftsmanship, responsibility, and adventure. Order yours today at VentanaSurfboards.com. This is Neil and TC with the Right Honorable Mr. Bruce McPherson, and Pete Madden is in the house tonight. We'll be right back with this very short break. Don't go away.
This is Tim Loslot again, head golf professional at De La Viega Golf Course. This advertisement is brought to you by De La Viega Golf Shop in Ocean 76. Has El Nino dampened your spirits to play more golf this year? Don't let it. De La Viega Golf Course is the only golf course in Santa Cruz County that offers short rounds. During breaks between our much-needed rain, come out and enjoy our short round options. Sign up for 3 holes, 6 holes, or 12 holes. This offer is available all year long. And don't forget to take advantage of De La Viega Golf Shop's new partner, Ocean 76, in Santa Cruz. Purchase $10 or more of gas or any other item and receive a coupon for 2-for-1 offers on a large bucket of range balls at De La Viega Driving Range. And make sure to visit us on the web at delaviegagolf.com. That's delaviegagolf.com.
This is Numa and Isaac from Aloha Island Grill. Well, summer's right around the corner here in Santa Cruz, and that means one thing. It's time to come get your grind on at the Aloha Island Grill.
Come over to Aloha Island Grill and eat some food.
We're located on the corner of Portola and 17th Avenue, and we've got a beautiful lanai for you to come sit out on. We've got a fine assortment of plate lunch, fresh ahi poke, and other wonderful treats for you to enjoy.
My favorite food at Aloha Island Grill is Kalua Pig.
We've got ice-cold beer and wine for those hot summer days, and try some of our homemade POG, Passion Orange Guava Juice. It's delicious. For to-go orders, give us a call at 479-3299. Find us on the web at AlohaIslandGrill.com or come on down to 1700 Portola Drive. Aloha Island Grill is a proud member of Think Local First.
Hey, it's Julie from Toyota and Sign of Santa Cruz. I want to introduce you to our new slogan. Why drive over the hill when the big store is right next door? The all-new Toyota of Santa Cruz. You have to come check out this dealership. It is amazing. 50,000 square feet of state-of-the-art service and sales. Over 500 new, used, and certified pre-owned cars and trucks. And our number one commitment is to save you time and money. And you know what else we're proud of? Our customer service. And that's why you guys keep coming back. We take care of our customers. So get down there, check out the dealership, buy a car or a truck, make me happy, and have a great day.
And we're back with the Off the Lip Radio Show right here on KSCO. Tonight, we have some very special guests. The Right Honorable Mr. Bruce McPherson's in studio with us. He was the former Secretary of State of California. That'd be a good trivia question. When was he?
It's quite a title.
I know. Are you still a senator, or are you the former? What do we call you? What's your?
Just call me Bruce, and I'll be fine.
Hey, that's what I said. Told you, it's just Bruce.
And another very important gentleman in the house, Pete Madden, who is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're going to get to him in a little bit, but him and his tribe are probably the craziest surfers on the planet. But before we start, TC, I have your question answered. This portion of the show is brought to you by Sugar Yoga Mats.
Excellent.
Manufacture premium quality yoga mats made in the USA from 100% recycled wetsuits. The name Suga evokes the two worlds it straddles, surfing and yoga, and was developed and thrives in Encinitas, California. Suga worked extensively with engineering experts to recycle these petrochemical-based landfill-clogging neoprene monsters, into high-functional instruments of yoga bliss.
I've never thought of my wetsuit as being so evil.
Yeah. You're
Okay, my question.
Yes, they do make an extra long.
Oh, nice.
Huge,
long. I'm excited.
Wet yoga mat.
Yeah, I am all about an extra long yoga mat. That's great.
Bruce, where do you want to go? I want to talk to Bruce about a subject I think is on. Everyone's noticed it. The planes flying overhead.
Oh yeah.
And they came on my show about 6 months ago. I had them all on here, and they, I went to a meeting in Scotts Valley, and there was a lot of pissed off people. Mm-hmm. Were you how long? When did you just throw your hat in the ring on this?
Well, it started about a year ago when they changed the next gen, the flight pattern. They used to kind of come up from the south and over the coastline and then go east and then come on in.
They missed Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and they didn't go over the elevations in Zayani and Lampico and the Soquel Highlands that are 1,000 feet plus, and they started coming in braking faster and lower. And the Save Our Skies folks, they have been adamant about it. I don't blame them. It's been miserable for them. It just changed their whole lifestyle. And we have been doing what we can. This is a federal issue. We know that, but I think we have approached it in the right way. And Save Our Skies, it's been a long endeavor for a year. We're going to have Congress members Eshu and Farr here, and somebody from the FAA next month. And I don't know exact time. We'll let people know. Mm-hmm. We've had 1,000 emails. I don't know, just many. They have taken the right course of action, though, of just letting us know every time, and we get them daily, and that's okay. Keep them coming, because that's been the most significant voice that can be made. Those people who are being impacted, and this all took place without the FAA coming to Santa Cruz and saying, "Hey, we're going to change this. There's a change in your lifestyle that's coming about you," and they didn't let us know. And
do you think they're up against the FAA? I mean, it's
going to be a change. It's going to be
a big rock to move.
It is, and believe me, we're going to try to move it. It just widen the spectrum of where they come in. They're just in a circle, and they come in at just in a real tight circle now. And if I don't know,
they're driving up they're flying over 45th Avenue. They're going right up 45th Avenue, pretty much.
Right. Like I said, the flight pattern's over my home. And what's interesting to me, Bruce, about this whole thing, from being, I can say, maybe a victim of this change, because literally, if the wheel falls off, it'll land on my house.
Right.
Is some planes are noisier than others.
Oh yeah.
And so I've noticed that at 2:00 in the morning and at like 3:00 in the morning, there's some airline that has like headers on their You know, like it's like a Harley of airplanes. And so that's what some planes, when they put the brakes on, it's not as noisy.
Yeah, I think from what we've learned, it's freight and some Air China. And I'm not going after any country or anything, but that's from what the consistency of what the complaints are and what they see. I mean, they can read the numbers on the plane.
Right.
Oh yeah,
But, you know,
I can see Southwest because they light up their. I can see them.
And but so it is all. You know, there's many airlines that are coming in there, but the hardcore ones are the loudest ones. That's my understanding. It's the freight airplanes, the bigger, heavy ones that are coming in, and also from China. That's what we've heard in general. That's who's making the most noise.
Makes
literally.
sense. Yeah, because it'll literally wake me up at like 3. I think one goes at 2 and one goes at 3. It's really
they're coming back on the show in a couple of weeks. Have they made progress? Have they been able to move it along a little bit?
This is not easy to get them to move, and I don't know how far they're going to move.
Right.
And I'm hoping for the best. We did not take a course of suing them, or John Leopold, my colleague on the Board of Supervisors, his constituents and mine have taken the biggest brunt of this, because we're in the hills of SoCal or San Lorenzo Valley, and we've had one session or more than one. We've had some sessions, a couple big ones, but others consistently, and we're hoping that we can just get some kind of alteration so it's not so consistent and so loud.
Okay, it's a really interesting thing, because it's not like we moved next to the airport. You know, it's not one of those things like, well, if you live next to an airport, don't complain about airplanes. They just kind of showed up.
Right. Well, you got people who have $1 million homes on top of the summit. Now they've got these planes flying to 2,000 feet, 2,500 feet over their house. You can't even step outside. You can't even think straight.
It's a very interesting situation.
You know?
Now, some real concerns we've had stories from owners of homes of their grandchildren or children. Just they scream at night and they can't sleep.
Right.
It's
What's the best scenario you see as being involved in this? What's the ultimate finish?
I think some alterations, so they do have to come in higher and not stay in this narrow scope of their flight pattern. In the next gen, they say number one is the safety factor they're claiming, and then they say it's economic, it saves a lot of fuel. But I think to change back to, and some people say, hey, well, we took it for so many years before this, but it wasn't as tight or as low, shall we say, as they're experiencing up in the mountains. So I think that to just change the pattern and make them come in higher where they do when they do come over the mountains, and so maybe to have the bigger aircraft at least come over the older pattern off of the coastline and then come in.
Okay, we have Nacy here from Carmel. Nacy, you there? Hello, Nacy. Hang on a second, because my phone's not. Nacy, hang on a second, and we'll get you back on the. I'm gonna get you back on. Nacy, call back in a few minutes. We'll get the phones working right here. I do want to ask you. We got to touch on since we have a politician and sit in the hot seat.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, you got to. I got to, right?
I'm
Don't
ready.
We have to. He can be like an ESPN color analyst.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Right. That's all. Have some fun.
Yeah.
Right. The presidential race.
Oh my God!
Are you having no? Are you having fun with it? Do you sit?
Yeah.
Are you sitting back and just having like?
It's fun and grief at the same time.
Is it both?
Sometimes, yes. In some respects, it's just. I've never seen anything like it. I'll put it that way. I don't think anybody has.
Right.
And just the situation that we're confronted with, and we're going to have to make a choice. And I hope, one way or the other, I hope people get out and vote when that day comes in November.
They may still be scratching their heads that day.
That's true.
Right?
I don't know that people, you see all these polls. I think there's a tremendous number of people who really haven't made up their minds. I really do, especially in the Republican field.
Because each day somebody says something like,
Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz, I mean, is anybody from New York going to vote for that guy?
No.
Right? Not
no
one.
way.
I mean, New York is New York.
Big.
You can't piss off in New York.
I don't even think he wants to be around New York for a while.
I got to get this call. Nacy, she calling back. Hi, Nacy. Welcome to the Off That Radio Show. Hello. There you go. There we go. There we go. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I love your show.
Thank
I love
you.
both of your shows. I love everything about you, Neil.
Thank you very much.
Hey. Hey now.
Have you ever seen
Yeah. Well, I'm married. Otherwise, I'd seek you out.
Oh. Ba-ba-ba-boom.
Anyway, here's what I want to know. First of all, is Bruce aware of chemtrails?
Yes. I mean, I know about it, yes.
Do you think that I have a lucid mind when I use that word?
Yeah, I know that there's some people that I've met with, and when I especially was walking precincts and so forth, there were some people that were concerned about it, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Because
go ahead, Nacy.
it could fall under an FAA thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I brought it up, because we haven't been told anything
Right.
of at least true words. You know, I mean, they do admit to geoengineering.
Well, I think Nacy, what Mr. McPherson can do is talk about to the FAA about the chemtrails and see where it goes. I mean, it's in they have the key to the car.
Yeah, I don't even know. You know, to tell you the truth, I don't know that they've addressed this issue specifically. So I don't know what their thoughts are on it at this point. But it's something that we could bring up.
All right, real quickly before all you guys call from Wisconsin. Or you guys can either hang on in just a second, right? We got the
the whole state's calling right now.
State's calling here. I'm done with the political arena. We should get it back. We should. You know what? What? So it depends. You know, like everybody says something different every day. You know, right? Trump.
Yep.
Somebody else is going to say something. Somebody's going to find some emails from tomorrow morning or the next day from Hillary. It's just. What? Do you shake your head every day?
Yeah, I do. I mean. It's gone on for so long, you know, that I don't watch it all now, but I try to keep up to date on who's saying what about whom.
Is it a mystery or is it a comedy?
It's more of a mystery, I think.
Right.
I know that when you say it is somewhat common, but it's not a funny situation. It just kind of gets to me that it looks like, you know, Bernie Sanders is doing so well in the early primaries, and Ted Cruz, and they're as far and right to the left as any of them that are in the race. And believe me, we need somebody more in the middle that can bring this country together, especially on a national level in D.C. And it's quite partisan back there, and I don't know that either one of them would have the ability to bring.
Can you see Donald Trump in the White House? Can you on Air Force One?
Think of his wife's evening gowns.
I am surprised. I think as anybody that he has maintained his leadership to the degree that he has.
Right.
I'm really surprised, but then you see what they say, that he couldn't beat Hillary, the assumed presumptuous nominee for the Democratic Party. But I don't know. He's holding strong, and we'll see. We're going to have these Iowa and New Hampshire primaries, and if the polls are right, people are going to figure out who's there. But it'll be the Super Tuesday in March, and then people will start to fall off the wagon, and we'll get down to the.
I got one quick question before we move on for Bruce, because I know you're involved in the county transportation issues right now, and my biggest concern with our county transportation is the Highway 1 corridor, and the bottleneck that is right smack in the middle. Is there a future to the bottleneck?
Well, the only future is we are considering and I'm one of each of the 5 county supervisors, and representatives from each city and some public members too are on the Regional Transportation Commission, and we're looking at what should be presented to the people of Santa Cruz County for a half-cent sales tax, because we're going to need that to, number one, become what they call a self-help county. If you do not tax yourself as a county to improve your transportation network, the state and federal government aren't going to come in and say, "Hey, we'll play ball with you."
Right.
They're gonna,
you have to help.
You have to help yourself before they'll help you.
Okay.
And so that's a critical factor in this whole thing. And it's been we've put out a basic formula for what we would do, and the highest percentage of the money would go to local roads.
Yep.
And then it would be Highway 1.
Right.
And then you get into the bike and pedestrian part of it, and the metro service for the Paracruz service.
Yep.
And then the one that's getting a lot of attention, and there's been some misguided and untrue statements that have been made about the rail line. This is not a vote for having the rail go from Santa Cruz to Watsonville.
Right.
That's going to come at a
different time,
way down the line.
Right.
It's just to maintain what we have a commitment to, and Iowa Pacific has the rights of that rail line for another 7 or 8 years. So I think if we put all of those factors into this proposal, and it's not said and done yet, but that's the way it's headed.
Okay, cool. Thank you. You're listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show right here on KSCO. You can watch us right now live streaming on SantaCruzWaves.com.
I'm waving right now.
Facebook, Instagramming, tweeting. Got some great shows coming up down the road. A lot of great shows. This portion of the show, though, is brought to you by TC. Here we go. Hot yoga and Aptos for TC and I have been killing it.
Kicking butt.
With more than just Bikram yoga, they've been doing hot Pilates. TC and I have been going at it with that. Hot kickboxing. Have we done the kickboxing?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Oh, the barefoot boot camp.
I did it last night. Brutal. Brutal.
On the spotlessly clean 1,500 square foot studio. If you want to try it, they have a New Year's special of $49 for unlimited classes for just 30 days. Check them out at BikramYogaAptos.com. This is Neil here with TC. We'll be right back with this very short break. Don't go away. Pete Madden's coming up.
This is Brother Timmy.
And Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Pono Hawaiian Grill.
Featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Khalil?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO or check us out on the web at ponohawaiiangrill.com. We put the ono in Pono. Yee-hoo.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. My wife Diane and I are experienced realtors who know and live at the beach, and we've been bringing the coast home to you since 1982. We'd love to help you sell or buy your slice of paradise here on the Santa Cruz coast. Please give the beach guy a call at 831-818-7064 or give Mrs. Beach Guy a call at 831-818-5939. Also, please drop into our website at lifesabeach.com and check out our available coastal properties. Remember, no one knows the turf. Near the surf, better. Cowabunga.
Attention surfers and paddleboarders. Don't let cold water or cold air take you out of the water for 5 to 6 weeks. Protect your ear canals with custom-made earplugs. The Listening Stack in Capitola is now offering custom earplugs molded to fit your ears perfectly, comfortably protecting your ear canals from the harsh elements of the Pacific Ocean. Stop messing with the universal earplugs that don't work and try something that does. Mention Off the Lip Radio and receive an extra $20 off any custom molded earplugs in our store. The Listening Stack is located at the corner of Capitola Avenue at 41st. Listening Stack. Protect, enhance, enjoy. 831-498-9890.
And we're back with the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO. It's the world's only live surf and skate show. Tonight in studio we have the Right Honourable, as they say in England, Bruce McPherson. Also we have the Left Honourable, Pete Madden from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who is a Great Lake surfer. Now,
that's rough.
You want to be hardy. You got to be hardy. Okay, I want to know the equipment that you have. I want to know what wetsuit you're wearing.
6.5s or 5.4s.
6.5 or 5.4?
Some of the Geoprene suits, you can get away with 5.4.
Okay.
And, you got to wear mitts in the winters, not gloves. And then you go with either wet socks or just a wetsuit sock.
Okay.
And then a 7mm boot over that.
Right.
And the two guys, the maniacs from Wisconsin that are,
Yeah, they're all calling it.
Those guys surfed, they drove to Duluth. So middle of the night, 3 a.m, got up, drove to Duluth, Minnesota, went around the hook up to what they call the North Shore, and the air temperature was 15 below, wind chill 55 below.
Right.
And
they
water temperature was barely, it was like 30, it would go 33, 32, 31.
So it was 32. Almost like slushy.
Slushing, yes. And they went out and they surfed in that, and they had to put the Vaseline on the face, and they had to do all that stuff, and they're super hardcore. They came out of the water, and we didn't know in the beginning all the safety precautions that you really need to have with cold water,
right?
Because the wetsuits were so bad back in the day,
right,
that it kept you out of the water.
Okay.
if it was leaky or if it was stiff and restrictive. And once the wetsuits improved, we started testing the waters. But we realized quickly, you have to have a dependable vehicle. You have to leave it open half the time because sometimes you're iced in your suit and you can't fish the key out, or your hands don't work. And at that point, you need, a buddy with you. And sometimes when it's really cold, and another thing, you never go alone. You let somebody know where you are. You call them when you're getting in, you call them when you're getting out, because they know if they don't hear from you in 2.5, 3 hours, they got to send somebody looking for you.
Right. Don't
go to any weird, out-of-the-way places when it's that cold. And the curse of the existence of the Great Lakes surfer is the best waves come in the winter.
Yeah.
And you need, 2 cell phones charged. I don't know how guys did this before cell phones and the internet.
Right.
We use the forecasting tools because, like we were talking before the break, there could be a 250-mile stretch of coastline.
Of which lake's the best surf on?
I would say probably Superior has some of the best surf, but they have a shorter season.
Okay.
And then there's various spots along Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Like Sheboygan is famous.
Right.
They got a long
That was in the movie.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie?
That jetty.
Surf's Up.
No. The big.
Oh, that Step in the Liquid.
Step in the Liquid. Yeah, that's right.
Sure. Those guys from Sheboygan are legendary. Larry and Lee, twin brothers. They've been surfing the lakes since the 60s.
Right.
The elbow is set up like a left arm. You walk out. Because we have short intervals, you can't paddle out. It's literally a 5-second interval between waves. So you've got to walk out the jetty, jump in, get your wave. Nobody kicks out. You ride it all the way to the beach.
Right.
Then you walk back out the pier.
Who's the Richard Schmidt out there?
Keep
who's
the crowd down
Who's the
doing
Kelly
that.
Slater of Lake Superior?
I would have to say the 2 guys that have been, harassing you on the phone, Burton Hathaway and Will Wall. Those guys.
They're the guys.
Yeah, they're I got to get this guy's call because he's like been hanging on. He's growing a beard. He's been hanging on for so long. Burton, are you there?
Yep, I'm all here.
How are you, my friend?
Hey, bro.
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, thank you, Off the Lip Radio, for having us on.
You are very, very welcome, my friend. Did you surf today?
No, I didn't. I just worked, but we surfed last Saturday. Our temperature was 15. I think the wind chill was around 9 or 10, and that's warm.
That's pretty nice. That's a nice day out.
Wow.
Yeah, if it wasn't for it's so great being sponsored and having a sponsor out here surfing the lake.
Is this the free plug sponsor? This is here we go.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Hyperflex wetsuit. Pat Emery, thank you so much for believing in me and my best friend Will Wall.
Okay.
He sounds like a real surfer, eh?
So Burton, are you a sponsored professional surfer?
Yeah, they call me that.
What do you do for work? What do you do for work?
I work for UPS in Oak Creek.
Very
here
good.
in Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Very good. My brother works for UPS. Good company. Well,
Yeah,
you work for
really
UPS and you're a professional surfer. That sounds like you got a nice gig going on out there.
Yeah, I do, and I've been out here for 10 years. I was born and raised in Huntington Beach, California. I was on the high school surf team.
Yep.
I grew up surfing. I've been surfing 29 years. I basically brought my 29 years of surfing out here to the Great Lakes 10 years ago, and the rest is history.
What's the coldest day you've surfed so far?
We're on Surfline. If you look on Surfline, it's minus 51 wind chill, and we broke the record of the coldest ever recorded surfing.
Man, oh man.
And we've been in
Shivering here.
Transworld. Before Transworld went under, we've been on Grind TV. We've been on Surfer Magazine.
Man, you guys are stars.
Hey, Burton.
Yeah, you could check out me and Will's Facebook page.
All right, we will.
Will Wall's my best friend. We travel all the lakes. We've been traveling the lakes for the last 10 years together, along with Pete Madden and a few other guys, Lester Priday, T-Dub. There's a few our photographers, Brian Tanis and Mike Killian, Rusty. And it's great. It's we're living the dream.
Attaboy.
16,
okay, we're gonna talk to. I gotta talk to Will. I gotta talk to Will now. Okay, buddy. Okay. Thanks for calling, Bert.
Thanks for the call.
The show anytime.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
You're very
Thanks.
welcome.
Call
Will. Oh shoot. Hey, Will, call back. I'm sorry I pushed the wrong button. Sorry about that. Will, call back and have Will on the phone.
Hey, Pete, did you call and give us a surf report once on the show?
Somebody called. Gave us
because someone gave us a Great Lakes surf report once. It was great.
Like, whoa, yeah.
And then before we take this next call, Pete, you were saying earlier there was a day that was 21 feet at 11 seconds on the buoy.
Yes, actually 23 feet. We're gonna keep that 2 feet there.
23 feet in 11 seconds.
And it was unbelievable. The 11 seconds for us was like just such a welcome relief because usually the waves are stacked so tight that you cannot paddle out. You've got to either get out at a point
Jetty.
or jump off a jetty.
Okay.
Well, Chicago got shut down. Like Lake Drive was underwater. The waves were just coming up where people usually are driving their automobiles. So
that's an unbelievable number for a lake.
Yeah.
We're going to get the legendary Will on the phone.
All right.
Is this guy a legend?
Oh, he's definitely a legend. He's one of the guys that was in Duluth. And
right.
I was going to ask Burton about, like, when you get a catastrophic rip in your wetsuit, if you get a fin rip or something in your wetsuit, when the water's 33 in the air.
Oh, my God.
We were actually being filmed by Comcast out of Chicago one day, and a buddy of ours, Joe Medro, got a fin rip on the thigh, and the suit filled up, the one leg filled up with water.
Oh, my God.
And he could barely get to his vehicle.
Right.
But again, because we knew to have hot water and all
you're
that
good.
stuff. Hey, Will, what's up, man?
Hey, Will.
What's going on, Pete?
Hey, brother.
How are you, my friend?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Off the
Good,
Radio
how are
Show.
you?
We're doing good. Okay,
Thank you guys for having me on.
You're very welcome. When was the last time you surfed?
Last weekend.
How was it?
Cold.
Hey, Pete, is that the photos you were showing us? Is that from last weekend?
No, that's 1 week before that.
Oh, okay.
But
we saw some good pictures of some surf.
Let me ask you guys a question, Pete and Will. Is this fun for you, or is it miserable? Are you doing
totally
it for
fun.
It's fun?
It is. We wouldn't do it if it wasn't.
Is it because there's nothing else to do back there, or what?
It's a little bit of that, but it's also, we only get a couple weeks a year to come to the coast.
Right.
So you take what you can get, and you drive all night to do it. You don't sleep. Will, and I got to get this out,
Sure.
Will and Burton both have advanced in the ESAs. They both won heats. The Great Lakes has a division in the ESAs.
Wow.
Will has actually moved on. Where did you surf? What was it, Outer Banks or Montauk?
I competed in the Northeast Regional in Montauk.
There you go.
And then for the East Coast Championship, it was in Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Will, what was the coldest day you've surfed so far?
Well, it was 51 below.
That was
so
you were with Burton that day?
I sure was.
Wow,
Couple
that's
of
cool.
ninjas. Yeah.
So on Saturday, how many people were surfing last week? What's a crowd for you guys?
Oh well, crowd's probably maybe 5 or more.
That's
nice.
Get the kooks out of the water.
So, do you discourage friends from joining?
No, the more
no,
the merrier.
I honestly, I think that if you got enough stoke to try to paddle out and surf and have a good time, then you're more than invited. It's all about having fun out here and catching good fun little lake waves and enjoying yourself as much as you can.
Right.
And you're sponsored by Hyperflex also?
Yes, I am. And, if it really wasn't for the guys out at Hyperflex, Burton and I, we'd be in trouble,
Right.
if it wasn't for good equipment and
Right.
having good equipment.
You have a question,
out here
Bruce?
is kind
How
of a
long is
must.
the ride? I mean, how long? Is it how many?
Oh, at Sheboygan we get over a minute long rides.
Okay, hang on a second. Will, Bruce McPherson. Bruce McPherson wants to ask a question for you, so let him go ahead.
Yeah, I was just asking how long the ride is, and I guess you can be a minute long rides and so forth. But how long is a normal ride?
Well, Bruce, honestly, there's so many different places around these Great Five, around the 5 Great Lakes. You got point breaks and reef breaks and beach breaks and right-handers and left-handers and a beautiful A-frame, up on the North Shore.
Okay.
It's kind of like a smorgasbord of small little fun waves, and
have you done?
If you got time to travel and commit yourself, sometimes you get the gold.
Very cool.
Just like anywhere.
Have you had the ice beard yet?
I can't grow a beard.
Okay. Baby face.
I've seen
I
him
wish I
trapped in a
could.
suit, though.
Hey, Will, thanks for calling. And when you come back to Santa Cruz, make sure you come down and see us in the show, and we'll get you on the show like Pete has been on the show
Yeah,
tonight.
that'd be great.
Thanks,
Sounds
buddy.
great, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. This portion of the show is brought to you by People's Coffee. Caller number 2 gets a free $20 worth of free coffee if they dial 831-479-1080. Get free $20 worth of coffee from People's Coffee Shop on 17th and Brome Mer.
Pete, are there like in Texas they
Super
surf-
tanker.
Yeah, do you guys do that too?
We don't have the ships that go close enough to shore to have that shoaling action, but we don't really need it. They don't get any waves in that region unless there's a super tanker. We actually do get, like I said, 70 days a year or up to 100 days. This has been a great year with the El Nino.
Mm-hmm.
We're still getting south swells, and we're not iced up yet. And the south end actually ices up first because the wind pushes the icebergs south, and they all conglomerate around some of the good breaks that are down south of Chicago. So
Right.
Michigan City and Gary, Indiana, which is like hell on earth basically, but there's a great break right next to U.S. Steel. And even though there's slag in the water,
I was gonna say polluted as hell.
Oh, geez, yeah. You know,
Right.
I know you guys have got issues at Cowles, but there's
Nothing like you do.
some bad, funky water.
I saw a picture of you standing on an iceberg.
Yes, they float through the lineup, and if you're going to duck dive through a wave, there could be an ice chunk the size of a watermelon. You could get smacked in the face. So everyone has to watch everyone, and we have we have boards that are specifically our ice boards, because you'll smash your board, and we don't have Felix out there to fix
Right.
it for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Felix can go open up a little shop
I
there.
know
in-
Oh yeah.
Well,
couldn't he?
I mean, the fact that you have icebergs in the lineup is really incredible.
We have great whites.
Yeah.
We have great whites, and they have icebergs. I'll go with.
I'll take the
What,
great
now,
white.
how do you guys feel about Santa Cruz, California? Is that this the spot?
That's the go-to spot for all
is
the Great Lakes surfers. Yeah,
Right.
the water. Our prime season out there is September and October and early November. Water's 52, air is 52. Not a lot of sunshine. A guy like me with bad vampire skin, I can't be out in the sun. So where would I go? I'd go to Santa Cruz. You've got Cowles, The Hook,
right?
Capitola. If I go up north, I got Pacifica. There's a lot of old man breaks where I can go out on my log, and I won't get hassled, and I won't be surrounded by 150 people screaming, "Get off my wave!"
Right.
Go back to whatever state. And well, they are the rock stars. I just drive the tour bus. I'm a longboarder. I make the drop and I turn and I go straight and I don't do anything. But these guys on their short boards, they're hitting the lip. They're doing all kinds of great maneuvers.
Let me ask you a question. So, a lot of people here go to Hawaii to go surf from
Sure.
Santa Cruz, right? And they come back and they complain because it's cold.
Oh, it's great
Now,
here.
When you go back, right? Do you complain that it's do you complain it's too cold?
No.
I was just in warm water.
This might seem sacrilegious, and after everything I've said about Santa Cruz and
Right.
how I love it here, but I did postpone departing on this trip by 2 days to score a swell, and that was the pictures you guys saw.
Yeah.
Because we just knew it was going to be good.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I could either be on my way to Santa Cruz where it's a sure thing that I'm going to get good waves,
Right.
or I could stay here and I could score waves with my friends,
Right.
even though it's 16 degrees.
Right.
So-
Is there a place to buy equipment out there? Is there a shop?
Yes, we have many surf shops. And they're
Many?
opening
There's
up-
5
yes.
people who surf.
Yeah, that's a big day.
We've actually we're experiencing some of the
A boom.
problems that you guys have had years and years and years ago. So Sheboygan, the Elbow is the famous spot, the Malibu, the Midwest, and whatnot. And there can be 25, 30 guys in the water, and they act like it's the end of the planet when they're, get out of here. And oh my God, there was guys
Right.
on the internet when the internet first came out, and they'd bust us for using forecasting tools on the internet or naming a spot or anything like that. And I said, don't worry about this. We're not going to get overrun with like 15,000 kids in the water with surfboards, because you need a car to transport the board.
Yeah.
Because you've got to drive a long way to get to the good breaks, and you need a wetsuit, and you need a rack system, and you need gas money, and you need to have freedom to do it.
And you need chains.
Yeah,
You know what?
exactly.
When you got to have
Vaseline
chains in your
for your
car,
lips,
when you have chains on your car to go surfing, it's a problem.
Does Costco sell surfboards out there?
No, they don't. So we go to either Third Coast, which is in St. Joseph, Missouri, and in Michigan, it's New Buffalo, Michigan, and in St. Joe, Michigan.
Okay.
Or we go to EOS, which is in Sheboygan, and they're awesome. Those guys are great. And what's cool is, because this is still in its infancy, even though we've been doing it for 40 years, because there's fewer days that we surf.
Yep.
It is still considered, this is like the pre-Gidget years for us.
Right.
Still. I go to a break and I bust my fin off, and the owner of EOS is right there, Mike Miller. Hey, Mike Miller. And he says, well, I'll just give you a fin. He takes a fin out of one of his boards and hands it to me. And Great Lakes surfers borrow each other equipment constantly, because the days are so precious. There's so few days. You surf until your arms are falling off. There's no, I'm going to surf for an hour and get out because there's waves tomorrow.
Right.
That doesn't exist.
No.
You surf
Get it while it's there.
You surf until your arms are just decorative. You just have to go. And then if somebody breaks a fin, or if somebody breaks a board,
They'll help you out.
Everyone brings extra stuff.
We know what's interesting too. You were saying is that all the spots are all basically rock shelf too.
A lot of them.
not
a lot
sand.
Of them. Stony
Right.
Point
Yeah.
is one of the big ones. That's north shore of Lake Superior. The zoo in Marquette, Michigan. Wind Point, which is by a huge lighthouse. And then there's other places that are sand bottom.
Okay.
The spots
Have
that
you
were
seen Kelly Slater's wave pool?
Yes, it looks amazing.
Are they opening one in Sheboygan?
Oh, I would love it. I would love that.
Kelly Slater, if you're listening, there's a need out there.
He's not
There
listening.
is.
So before we go, this is the end of the show's coming up.
Rock.
The reason that Santa Cruz is a special place,
Mhm.
and you guys back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, love it here.
Yep.
Because this man right here makes it maintains it as one of the special places that we have. And
For
we're
generations,
right?
they've been doing that.
He's
It
been
is-
fourth generation, and he keeps it.
It's an
he
honor.
He keeps the garden tidy, and we want to thank Mr. Bruce for coming on the show tonight.
It's an honor to be here.
It's always
to meet you guys, to sit in the
no,
same
we're
chair.
nothing. No, we're with our guests make the show. We're him and I
Well,
a bunch of
Neil, you know what's cool
What?
is that Pete says he drives his truck and listens
Yeah.
to our show on podcasts.
A lot of guys do.
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool. You know,
That's
we
very-
forget that. We've
Right.
had fun doing this, but we're just in this radio station having a good time on
Yeah.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. That's
very
cool.
It
cool.
goes nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So Pete Madden,
Yep.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Great Lake surfer.
Yeah.
If you
This
go back
Great
there,
Lakes thing's cool.
If
I
you
like
go
it.
back there, if you want to surf the lake and want to go back there and surf on the Great Lakes,
We'll welcome you.
Pete, you will welcome, and Pete will own your board. And right honorable Bruce McPherson, thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show. Hope you continued success and
Fighting the good fight for the people of Santa Cruz County.
fighting the
Yeah.
good fight for the And this portion of the show is brought to you by Star Benny. TC, I'm
I
going to
know.
Star Benny tonight.
Are you? I'll
We got
go.
the chicken piccata.
I'm going.
We'll see if anybody else wants to come in the crew here. I want to thank Chris, our engineer, for making the show happen. I also want to thank the sponsors for sponsoring the show.
Hey, and also
Without them, it's
congrats
not
to Nick
happening.
Lamb making the final down at Toto's too.
Nick Lamb,
Oh,
did
I
he?
saw
Yeah,
that just the
yeah,
other day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it live on the live feed. He did very well.
I stopped by Bob Pearson's place, Arrow Surfboards. Yeah, that all the boards are lined up. All the boys are all ready to go. So
I'm waiting for Matt.
And Griffin Guest texted me today. He had a great time on the show. Loved
Oh, good.
it.
Griffin's
that was a really good show.
guy, and I hope his contest goes off.
I hope it does too.
Yeah.
And real quick, Timmy from Pono. It's his birthday today.
brother Timmy!
Happy birthday to you.
Timmy.
Happy birthday to Timmy from Pono Island.
Aloha, brother.
Aloha, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Timmy. From all of us from the Off the Lip Radio Show. This has been Neil and TC. Again, thank you, Mr. McPherson. Mr. Madden, thank you very much. We'll see you next week with another Off the Lip Radio Show. Good night to you all.
Good night.
From Capitola to Carmel, Red Hot News Talk, AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz.
CBS News, I'm Bill Whitney. Donald Trump picked up what could be a